It's less than an hour before the green flag. Denny Hamlin is standing in a NASCAR hauler, and he just told the sports-owned officials that he is not getting in his car. Not because he's scared. Because if he does, there's a real chance he puts his own car into a concrete wall doing over 100 miles an hour, and everyone in that room knows it. Their answer isn't, "Let's fix it." Their answer, according to Hamlin himself, is that they would make up a penalty for him, one that doesn't exist yet, invented on the spot, and worse than the one he'd get for doing the right thing. He is 45 years old. This is supposed to be one of his final contracts. And he is about to find out exactly how much control he actually has over his own safety at high speed. Before we get into exactly what happened inside that hauler, if you're new here, welcome to NASCAR Racing World. We're closing in on 500 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this channel keep bringing detailed, fact-checked breakdowns like this one. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this video with another NASCAR fan who needs to hear this story. Your support directly shapes what we cover next. Denny Hamlin finished 5th. He still leads the championship standings. So why did he sound like a man who had just been through the worst day of his career? After the race, speaking to USA Network, Hamlin appeared visibly exhausted, describing a race where he was white-knuckling every lap, unsure of where his car would end up when he entered the corner. That alone should not describe a top 5 finish. His own team owner, Joe Gibbs, put it even more directly, "I've never seen Denny that exhausted. I think he drove his heart out." A 5th-place finish. A 45-year-old veteran. And a team owner saying he has never seen his driver in that state. Something happened well before the checkered flag, and it started with a pedal that would not stop failing. It began in Saturday practice at Iowa Speedway, a tight 0.875-mile oval where braking is not optional. It decides whether a car makes the corner at all. During practice, Hamlin's brake pedal went straight to the floor. Twice. Speaking about the chances of an overnight fix, Hamlin said, "Certainly can't race like it currently is, for sure." He then explained exactly why this particular track made the issue so dangerous. You can't get into the corners deep and you can't race. Obviously, you've got to have both pedals on a short track. This was not an isolated problem with one car. Hamlin confirmed it spread across multiple teams, naming the cars involved directly. Us, the 19 and the 35, none of us had any brakes. That meant Hamlin's own number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, along with Chase Briscoe's and Riley Herbst's cars, were all compromised heading into race day. Here is where the situation became more complicated than a simple mechanical fix. NASCAR does not allow teams to swap brake pads on their own judgment. A third-party supplier first has to officially declare the part defective before any change is approved. That declaration had not happened. The team knew the brakes were failing. The rulebook said they could not act on that knowledge yet. Race morning made things worse before any of this was resolved. Joe Gibbs Racing made an unapproved change to the car's cooling unit less than an hour before the green flag, in an attempt to address the underlying issue. Because the change was unapproved, NASCAR sent Hamlin to the rear of the field, a penalty applied to a car that had not caused a single incident all weekend. Crew chief Chris Gale later admitted it was essentially a coin flip whether the fix would even work. Hamlin was not alone in the penalty box that morning. Other drivers including Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott were also sent to the rear for separate infractions, adding to the chaos across pit road. But the cooling unit penalty was not the fight that mattered most. The real confrontation happened somewhere the television cameras never reached. Inside the hauler, with less than an hour before the race, Hamlin laid out his case to NASCAR officials directly. This was not a strategic play for track position. It was a safety concern. In his own words, "This is not for some strategic advantage. This is to hopefully keep my car from blowing a rotor or going into a corner dead straight and wiping someone or myself head-on into the wall." He told officials flatly that he would not take the track on those pads, saying, "I'm too old to be hitting this wall head-on." Then came the turn. According to Hamlin, NASCAR's response was not a solution, it was a threat of an invented punishment. He described the exchange this way: "They said, well, we would make up a penalty, and it would be worse than what it would be if you just came in and changed them under green." So they did acknowledge that they were willing to make up a rule. A sanctioning body reportedly telling a driver it would create a penalty that did not previously exist, and make it harsher than the one for the actual violation. Hamlin backed down. He ran the race on the compromised brake pads and accepted that if they failed completely, he would simply have to slow down and manage it. That decision explains everything from the opening of this story. The white-knuckle quote from earlier makes sense now. In full, Hamlin said, "Just had to white-knuckle every lap, not knowing where my car was going to land when I got in the corner. You gotta do what you gotta do. Team did an amazing job. I would take the day 100 out of 100 times." He started the race at the back of the field, having avoided every incident all weekend through no fault of his own, and still finished 5th. He extended his championship points lead to 103 points over race winner Ty Gibbs. This is not the first time Hamlin and NASCAR have clashed over penalties. He was previously docked points following the Bristol engine seal violation. He was also at the center of the intentional wreck involving Ross Chastain at Phoenix. Taken together with the Iowa hauler confrontation, this becomes a pattern worth watching rather than a single isolated dispute. That pattern raises a bigger question about what comes next for Hamlin himself. His contract runs through 2027, and he has already called it his last. At 45, he is the oldest full-time driver currently competing in the NASCAR Cup Series. He has spoken openly about the fear driving that decision. "My ego is very paranoid of the downtrend, and it is going to come. We don't know when it is. I just want to get ahead of it before it actually does." Co-owner Heather Gibbs has pushed back publicly against the idea of Hamlin stepping away soon, calling him a spring chicken, and stating the organization is trying to figure out how to keep him longer. When asked directly about retirement, Hamlin gave the same answer both times: "Check with me in 6 months." History gives weight to his hesitation. Jimmy Johnson went winless over his final 95 races. Richard Petty and Darrell Waltrip each went winless across their final 8 seasons. Petty himself later reflected on staying too long. "The longer we run, the slower I got. I should have seen it coming." These are not abstract statistics to Hamlin, they represent the exact decline he says he is trying to avoid. He said he would consider retiring at the end of the year if every week looked like Iowa. His contract runs through 2027. His team's co-owner is publicly asking him to stay. And NASCAR has just shown him, in direct terms, how much leverage he does not have when it matters most inside that hauler. So which one wins, a sanctioning body that told him it would invent rules to keep him on track, or the fear of decline he has been talking about for the better part of a year? He gave the same answer twice: 6 months. Drop your prediction in the comments. Does Denny Hamlin actually walk away after 2027, or does a day like Iowa keep pulling him back? If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next, so make sure you're subscribed to NASCAR Racing World, comment your take below, and share this with another fan who needs to see exactly what happened inside that hauler.